The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. Isaiah 61 and verse 1. There are prisons with no bars. There are prisons with no chains, no guards, just people walking freely with their heads bowed, backs bent, and hearts in cages. People who smile in public and scream in silence. People who preach about freedom but panic when they actually taste it. People who aren't waiting for release because they're not even aware that they are bound. Here is what modern captivity looks like. It looks like you asking for permission to be yourself. It looks like silencing your truth in order to keep someone else comfortable. It looks like calling your cage God's will because you're too scared to step out of it. We are the most bound generation to ever scream, "I'm free." We need to understand that captivity isn't always loud. Sometimes it comes dressed in wisdom, in maturity, in religion. You say you're just being cautious. No. Actually, you're terrified of yourself. You say you're being loyal. No. In reality, you're scared to be alone. You say God is testing you. No. You're avoiding the test of standing in your truth. Let's be honest with ourselves. You stay in the job that kills you slowly because it pays well. You stay in the marriage where your soul is starving because you're scared of the unknown and it looks good on paper. You sit in the church that no longer feeds you because you don't want to offend the pastor and you're afraid of what people may say. You're not living. You're complying. And somewhere deep inside, there's a version of you clawing at the walls, begging to be let out. No one locked you in. You did it to yourself. Because at some point in your story, you believed in the lie that being liked was safer than being free. That being needed was more sacred than being whole. That being quiet was more spiritual than being true. And so, you built a persona, a careful, crafted version of yourself that could survive this world. You called it wisdom, but in God's eyes, that's bondage. Here's the esoteric truth. You are not just a soul. You are an energy field, and every time you betray yourself, your frequency diminishes. Every time you people please, every time you hold your tongue out of fear, every time you dim your light to someone else's so that they can feel brighter, you fragment your own spirit. And fragmented spirits don't move in power. They tiptoe in anxiety. You need to understand that captivity has a chemistry. It lives in your breath, your jaw tension, your gut, your sleep, your digestion, your immune system. You think it's just stress, but your body is keeping score of your compliance. Your nervous system becomes wired for silence. Your hormones favor survival over creation. Your brain defaults to fear. Your DNA begins to shut down its codes for expansion. You are not broken. You are conditioned. And your biology has adapted to your imprisonment. But here's the miracle. You can rewire it. You can tell your body a new story. I remember when I stopped asking for permission. There came a moment in my life, not dramatic, not loud, but deeply sacred, where I stood flat-footed in what I knew was true for me, and I let the chips fall as they may. No explanations, No apologies, no safety net. It wasn't rebellion, it wasn't ego, it was remembrance. Remembrance of who I am, remembrance of what I carry, and of what I came to do. That moment didn't feel like a celebration, it felt like a death. But on the other side of that death was freedom. Not the kind someone gives you, but the kind that you become. Let me show you what modern captivity looks like. It looks like the woman who stays silent at dinner because her father's voice still echoes in her psyche. She still hears, "Don't be too loud. Don't be too smart. Don't embarrass me." She calls it humility, but in actuality, it's bondage. It looks like the man who suppresses his art because his culture told him men don't dance, men don't cry, men don't feel. He calls it strength, when in fact, it's bondage. It looks like the healer who never charges for her work because she was taught that spiritual gifts shouldn't be exchanged for money. She calls it purity, but that too is bondage. We have a way of justifying our prison until the pain of overstaying outweighs the fear of leaving. Christ didn't come to start a religion. He came to ignite a revolution. A soul uprising against every lie that told you your power had to be earned. He came to shatter the contract that said you're only worthy if. He came to proclaim liberty to the captives. But here's the catch. He was only the way shower. You still have to walk out of that cell. Here are 5 keys to assist in your liberation if such is your heart's desire. 1. Confess the lie that you believed. Every chain is anchored to a belief. Find it. Name it. Speak it. I believe that my worth depended on how useful I was to others. Be true to yourself. 2. Cancel the contract. Say this aloud. I revoke every agreement I made with fear, silence, shame, and unworthiness. I choose freedom. 3. Train your body to feel safe in truth. Use breath work, stillness, movement. Let your nervous system learn that truth is not a threat, that freedom is not punishment. 4. Practice radical self-expression. Every day, do something that scares your old self. Speak, dress, create, move. Remind your body that this is me now. 5. Reclaim your throne within. Sit with yourself, unarmed, unmasked, unapologetic, and say, I will not abandon myself to be accepted. I will not betray my truth to belong. I am my own permission slip. My freedom is not negotiable. The greatest captivity is forgetting who you are. The greatest freedom is remembering. You're not bound. You're just afraid. You're not stuck. You just still believe in the story someone else wrote for you. But the cell is open. The chains are illusions. The door was never locked. All that's left is for you to walk out. This is the sacred curriculum. Lesson complete.